Man, I'm really cold. You want to know why?
Why? Because I made you turn your heater off?
Because we're back at the Iceberg.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I know. It was.
Back at the good old conspiracy theory icebergs. Tier 2 of all things.
Yeah, man. We're going one tier deeper.
So I think, I don't know, would you classify this as still the tip?
You know, I think we're on the shaft
water
at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got past the tip. Now we're on the shaft.
Well, there's how many tiers?
There's 8 tiers. I think there's actually 10 tiers.
I think we're still at the tip a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think we've quite hit shaft at this point.
There's tier 0.
Yeah. So I think I think this will be the end of the tip. And then like tier 3 might be the start of the shaft.
Okay. All right. Tier 3 is the start of the shaft.
And it didn't take long for us to jump into that, did it?
No, it didn't.
I'm talking about the phallic jokes already.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Enter the Abyss.
We're a family show.
Yep. All ages are welcome. So level 2, tier 2 is called what, Cleet?
The Deep Researcher.
Oh.
So this tier, the author wrote these theories are the Twilight Zone level stuff.
Ooh.
Most of these entries can easily be studied through the use of mainstream media outlets like internet, television, radio, etc. But they require a good grasp on how the world works to be fully understood. Common people rarely go this deep.
So level 2 is already saying that common folks don't really transgress this deep.
Yeah.
But I honestly have to say, I feel like researching level 2 was far easier than level 1.
But do you understand it, Britton?
I don't understand any of this, man.
This is Game of Thrones stuff.
Oh, damn. Okay, like season 1 or season 8 that just took a shit on everything.
That's the last TV series I ever ended up, finishing.
Speaking of TV series, though,
yeah.
Dexter just ended. Oh my God. See, you roll your eyes because I know you don't care. This did it so much justice. It was so good. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was so good.
She died. I didn't watch anything, so
being okay. Great.
I hope I ruined something.
No, you didn't. I mean, maybe you did, but it's not. No, I think you're good. It was so good.
So our last episode was the Spirit Box episode, and I did my best to dub over what we thought it was saying. And one of our viewers actually sent us a message. Did you see it?
Yeah, I loved it, the email.
So apparently there was a couple of times that the Spirit Box said the word Chris, because we're like, who's in the room with us? And, we heard Chris a couple of times, and apparently one of our viewers noticed that, I guess him and his wife, that it said help right before.
It said help me.
Yeah.
Right?
Or just help Chris.
Yeah, well, I didn't catch the help piece. I tried to listen, but I ran out of time, so I'll have to go back and listen. But this is what I was hoping for, is like our viewers would catch things we missed or maybe we didn't quite hear. And I'm excited. So we'll turn the Spirit Box on again at the end of this episode, too. We're going to make that kind of a common theme in our episodes, as we'll end by reaching out through the veil.
And we're going to ask Chris what he needs help with, or the third party that's saying we need to help him with what.
Exactly. And just something else cool that happened. Obviously, we're on Buzzsprout and everything. And Buzzsprout does the distribution for us. It sends it to Spotify and Apple and all that good stuff. And we, as of yesterday, just hit 7,000 downloads across all platforms.
Wow.
Not including YouTube. So YouTube is a whole different entity. So we're like way above that. So again, tremendously thank you guys for the constant support. We love to see our show grow.
So I watched a scary movie.
Oh.
And I think it was okay. I think it was all right. I would recommend that our viewers watch it. It's called The Empty Man.
The Empty Man. I don't know if I've heard of that one.
Yeah. My only gripe with it is it seems like it was like 3 stories put into one, kind of like patched up. But I thought the visuals were good. I think the storytelling was nice. And I wouldn't say it was necessarily scary, but it was definitely thrilling.
Oh, so it's like a patchwork quilt of a movie. They just piece all these pieces together.
Well, I don't want to give too much of the plot, but apparently, because I'm actually going to cover this later in the Iceberg, it's a story about a tulpa that doesn't know that he's a tulpa.
And for those who don't know what a tulpa is,
we'll talk about it when we go over the Iceberg.
Okay, cool. All right, so I don't feel like this one needs as much of a disclosure, but obviously as we start to trend, go down the iceberg, we might cover some things that are pretty trigger warning, I guess. Some intense. This one I didn't see anything that's too crazy. I had a few that maybe like, oh, that's interesting. But, as always, listener discretion advised sort of thing. Well, let's jump into tier 2 as we do our deep researcher stuff. So the first one is lucid dreaming. We've talked about lucid dreaming a little bit.
Yeah, it's like you're aware of when you're sleeping, right?
Right. Yeah. But there's more to it, right? Everyone has dreams. Everybody, when we close our eyes, drift off to sleep, allowing your bodies to relax and recover, our mind still wanders, painting pictures and making movies in our minds. Dreams are limitless and can often contain anything and everything your mind can think up. With dreams, we're just along for the ride, not able to control what happens, right? But what if you could control your dreams? Enter lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is the idea that you are able to realize that you're dreaming and you can take control and dictate what is said, what is done. You can literally manipulate your dream to have anything you want to have happen. If you're able to achieve this phenomena, you can hear, smell, taste, and even feel what is happening in your dreams while controlling the environment around you. Have you ever been able to achieve lucid dreaming, Cleet?
Not necessarily, but like there was like one point in my life where I could fly in my dreams. And then ever since then, I could do that. Before I couldn't.
So it's interesting you mentioned that because one of the things I cover actually talks about ability to fly in your dreams, which means you actually did something else. So,
uh-oh.
So how does one go about lucid dreaming exactly? Because I've never been able to do it. There's no guaranteed method or even a guaranteed success, as few people have claimed to accomplish this. People have tried meditating before bed, where others say their mantras. Others have claimed to use hypnosis and perform constant reality checks. The conspiracy theory here obviously is the possibility of even being able to control your dreams. So,
I heard a guy who built a device and it would flash lights when he was in REM sleep, and that would help him like lucid dream.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I was reading that people really go to great lengths to try and be able to do this. I'm just like, I just enjoy sleeping. I don't want to have to worry about like controlling my dreams. I just want to rest.
Like sweating.
Although there are some dreams that would be really cool to be able to manipulate and play around with for sure. So the next theory goes to MK Ultra.
I think that'd be like the coolest beer name.
I thought it was like a Mortal Kombat game, like Mortal Kombat Ultra.
It's like a CIA operation, but it's like, that'd be like if I saw a beer at the store, MK Ultra, like no calories, and you're like, God, I know that's like a CIA thing, and I'm probably gonna get drugged and thrown into a van, but I'm gonna buy it anyways.
Wow, does not take much for you to do, does it? I mean, you'd purchase a beer that was terrible, literally told you what it was gonna be, and you're like, fuck it, hell yeah.
You're telling me there's gonna be candy in that van?
Like the big king size? All right, so MK Ultra, which focuses, kind of like you said, good old brainwashing. The theory about MK Ultra is that it was a government-funded CIA operation whose purpose was to investigate the possibility of controlling the human mind via various means. The project was rumored to last roughly 10 years between 1952 and 1963. The main character in this investigation was investigative reporter and past U.S. congressional seat candidate John Rappaport. So you had mentioned, like, you had already heard of this, obviously, because you jumped right into the CIA stuff. What do you know about it?
Well, liberal doses of LSD and 2 gunshots to the back of the head.
So the way in which the project worked is a little intense, as it began when the subject or patient was very young. Methods such as electric shocks, torture, spinning tables, lights, drugs, sleep deprivation, hypnosis, mind control, amnesia, etc. were all used. The idea was that if enough trauma was introduced to the subject, you would cause a split in their personality as they were unable to deal with that pain. This new sub-personality was then used as a CIA agent for assassinations, blackmail, etc. Sounds legit, right?
Yeah.
The agent would have a trigger word or symbol that caused that immediate response. Supposedly, there are still documents that exist that mention the MKUltra program. And on this one here, there's really a lot of information that we could really dive into, like including the scope, specific documents, and it might be something we could cover later on, but for this purpose, that's where we'll leave that one.
Nice.
Okay, and I will end my first point with hypnosis. So I think most of us are aware of what hypnosis is, and some of us may have even attempted it. Hypnosis, or hypnotherapy, or hypnotic suggestion, is a trance-like state in which you have heightened focus and concentration. Hypnosis is usually carried out with the help of a therapist using verbal repetition and mental images. When you're under hypnosis, you usually feel calm, relaxed, meaning you're more open to suggestions. Now, there are varying levels of hypnosis, which is where a lot of the conspiracies come into play. Since hypnosis relies heavily on the desires of the person being hypnotized, you really can't make a person do exactly what you want them to do simply by hypnotizing them. That's where the mind control shit comes in. But they are more susceptible to sharing things that they may not have wanted to share before, such as past traumas. So there's hypnosis.
All right, fun. So the next topic we'll cover is fluoride dangers.
Oh, man. Every time I go to the dentist, they're like, do you want fluoride? Do you want fluoride?
You remember that as a
It's
kid?
dangerous?
You'd have to swish it, and they're like, you got to do it for a minute or two. I used to hate fluoride. I hated that part.
Yeah, but it always makes your teeth feel so good.
Nah.
But now I know it's dangerous, so that's cool.
Yeah, so apparently they fluoridate the water supply in most bigger cities.
Yeah, turns everyone into zombies.
So let's jump into it. One would think that fluoridating public drinking water isn't something to be concerned about. The U.S. has been adding fluoride supplements to drinking water supply since 1945, and it is generally accepted by the American people.
Since 45, huh?
Yeah. In fact, there are 25 total countries in the world that add that was weird. Add fluoride to the public water systems on a regular basis. That was the fluoride in me speaking. Since it was first proposed and put into action, however, there have been naysayers, and there's even a conspiracy theory attached to what would seem to be a way to help people avoid cavities, especially in the poor, who often don't have access to the same quality of dental care as others and children. But a conspiracy theory suggests that there may be other reasons besides saving our pearly whites that this system is in place. Despite being supported by the majority of dentists and even the World Health Organization, evidence is lacking that adding fluoride in your drinking water on a daily basis helps to curb the formation of tooth decay.
And I don't feel like when you're drinking water that it really hits all your... I mean, maybe it does, but like I feel like I drink water pretty quick, so it's like I'm just ingesting it more than it's doing anything for my teeth.
Yeah, I would just assume toothpaste is enough, right? Let's put the fluoride in the toothpaste. It probably does have fluoride, but
yeah,
spit it out. Because of this lack of evidence, there are proponents of the theory that there must be a hidden agenda. As always with conspiracy theories, a lack of substantial information has led to a certain population, in this case actually supported by a small fraction of the medical community, to believe that fluoridation of drinking water is not necessary and in fact can be quite harmful to our health. Another facet of the conspiracy theory, which presented itself very early in the years of the water fluoridation program, proposes that introducing fluoride in this manner keeps people sedated, creating an apathetic population, mostly due to lack of sleep. This was thought to be a move on part of the Soviets during the Cold War. What we do know is that fluoride is known to calcify the pineal gland in the human brain. Studies have shown that the pineal gland carries more fluoride than any other place in the human body, including your teeth. The pineal gland is responsible for the creation and distribution of melatonin and controls the circadian rhythm, as well as triggering puberty, and particularly in females.
Wow, we need that melatonin to sleep.
So if you can't sleep, maybe it's because of the fluoride.
Wow, I'm starting to think that's a real deal.
Maybe. All right, the next one is Cicada. Have you heard of Cicada?
A little bit?
Yeah, dude, it's like super famous. So Cicada 3301 is a nickname given to an alleged enigmatic organization that posted 3 sets of puzzles online between 2011 and 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's coming back.
Yep.
The first internet puzzle started on January 4th, 2012 on 4chan and ran for nearly a month. A second round began 1 year later on January 4th, 2013, and then a third round following the confirmation of a fresh clue posted on Twitter on January 4th, 2014. The third puzzle has yet to be solved. The stated intent was to recruit intelligent individuals by presenting a series of puzzles which were to be solved. No new puzzles were published on January 4, 2015. However, a new clue was posted on Twitter on January 5, 2016. Cicada 3301 posted their last verified PGP signed message on April 2017, denying the validity of any unsigned puzzles. The puzzles focus heavily on data security, cryptography, steganography, and internet anonymity. It's hard to say all that at once.
Yeah, that was a hell of a sentence.
It has been called the most elaborate and mysterious puzzle of the internet age.
They're just trying to gather all those smart people into one.
And they trap them in my basement.
Yep. That little cement room you've got out under your deck.
Yeah, Chris is down there, actually.
Oh, shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's why he needs help.
And this puzzle is listed as one of the top 5 eeriest unsolved mysteries of the internet by the Washington Post. And much speculation exists to the function. Many have speculated that the puzzles are a recruitment tool for the NSA, CIA, MI6, or a Masonic conspiracy, or a cyber mercenary group.
Oh,
yeah.
Those goddamn cyber mercenaries.
We call them the Hateful Eight, although there's like 50 of them. Others have claimed Cicada 3301 is an alternate reality game, although no company or individual has attempted to monetize it. Some of the final contestants believe that Cicada 3301 is a remnant of the 90s cyberpunk movement.
Okay.
Yeah. You ready for the next one? Because it's a real deal.
I am ready.
Yeah, this is the whole bus and a train behind it. It's called the McFly Code.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Like Marty McFly?
You might be fly for a Marty McFly guy.
I'm sure every single one of our listeners just did the biggest eye roll.
According to some fans, Back to the Future films predicted the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, as well as the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Okay, so let's jump into the fan theory that predicted 9/11. In the first movie, the clock reads 9:55 p.m. At one point, a clear indication for some fans that the film predicted 9/11 because the clock hands point to 9 and 11. Does that feel like
a stretch?
A little bit of a stretch? A stretch?
A stretch.
Is that bridge a little too far to cross?
Yeah, they're stretching that one a lot.
All right, well, hang on. In the second scene in which Marty McFly is ambushed in the Twin Pines Mall parking lot, the fans point out that the shooting takes place in a location that contains the word twin in its name. Naturally, the person who's doing this theory connects the fact that Al-Qaeda chose the Twin Towers for their terrorist attacks. Yeah?
I feel, what's that pareidolia that I talked about for the spirit box? Like, you have something that's nothing, but you want it to be something so bad. That's pareidolia. That's what's happening.
I 100% believe this.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
Maybe.
I mean, look, I'm not going to say with a 100% certainty no, but it is a stretch. Like, it's going to be hard to convince me otherwise.
All right, here's another piece of evidence that will convince Britain.
Oh, this is the nail in the coffin.
The last thing this theory talks about is that turning the clock of the Twin Pines Mall sign around 1:16 a.m. becomes
9/11.
That's kind of crazy, though.
It's a lot of circumstantial.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's not cool. It's interesting.
That's neat. All right, so let's go to the JFK Conspiracy.
I can't wait to see what they dug out of this one.
So some fans point out eerie similarities of the film that echoes the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy. According to a video online, Dealey Plaza in Dallas, where Kennedy was assassinated, has the same layout as Hill Valley Town Square, and the courthouse clock tower looks similar. In a storefront of a bus...
Excuse me?
In a storefront, a bust of JFK is depicted, positioned in Hill Valley, where JFK actually lost his head in Dealey Plaza. You know, I don't know, there's a video you can watch on this, and someone's going to try to convince you. Again, a lot of this theory seems like a stretch to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a very big stretch. I mean, you do realize, though, that, like, The Simpsons is way more credible for predicting half of the things that have happened. That's eerie. Like, Trump becoming president, the end of Game of Thrones, all that. Like, they've predicted almost everything, literally. It's insane.
Yeah.
So
Matt Groening is a time traveler.
Yeah, I believe it. So let's jump on to the next three. So we're going to start with a little something called dowsing. You heard of dowsing before?
I doused out a fire once.
A little different, but... So dowsing is described as a method of divination used to locate things under the earth, including water, mineral deposits, bodies, archaeological sites, cables, pipes, treasure, etc.
We'll have to use that to find the bodies in the backyard.
Yep. Hey, I think you've got a lot of them. Dowsing is often performed using special rods or forked sticks. The most common and preferred tool is a forked or Y-shaped branch or tree bush. The two ends are held one in each hand with the stem or point of the Y pointing straight ahead. The dowser then walks slowly over the places where they suspect the target to be. If the branch dips or inclines, that means that they have discovered what they're looking for.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So another name for this is Willow Witching. I don't know if you've heard of that term.
Nope.
But, yeah, and I've seen this too. Like, if you're looking for water or anything, you just carry a branch around. If it ever dips or does like a sudden drop, supposedly that's what you're looking for. So, again, it's another theory that the existence of dowsing by just carrying a tree branch around the yard looking for a body. In your case, we should go check your backyard.
Yeah.
That thing would be dipping like a motherfucker.
We're kidding, but you never know.
This next one's actually really cool. So have you heard of a man by the name of Admiral Byrd?
Nope.
Okay. So Richard Evelyn Byrd Jr., born October 25th, 1888, died March 11th, 1957, was an American naval officer and explorer.
Did he find the hollow earth?
He claimed to have.
Yeah, he was flying Antarctica and he saw a big old circle.
So he was awarded the Medal of Honor, which is the highest honor of valor given by the United States. He was also a pioneering American aviator, polar explorer, and organizer of polar logistics. So very decorated and impressive human being. So why exactly are we talking about him? Well, on May 9th, 1926, Byrd and Navy Chief Aviation Pilot Floyd Bennett attempted their flight over the North Pole. The flight left from Spitzenberg and returned to its takeoff point, the total trip lasting 15 hours, 57 minutes. That's a long time to be in a fucking plane.
Yeah.
The pilots claimed to have reached the North Pole, which was a distance of 1,535 miles away. Byrd was declared a hero upon returning to the States and was then awarded the Medal of Honor and promotion to commander.
Wow. Good for him.
Right? So since 1926, though, several doubts and defenses have been made on whether or not they actually reached the North Pole. In 1958, Norwegian-American aviator and explorer Bernt Balchen disputed the claims of Byrd on the basis of the plane's speed. Balchen claimed that Bennett, Byrd's co-pilot, confessed to them not reaching the North Pole.
Well, treachery is afoot.
Right?
I'd ask questions.
Bennett died on April 25th, 1928, during a rescue flight for downed aviators in Greenland. Byrd's diary was released in 1996, which showed erased but still legible sextant sites that differ heavily from his later June 22nd typewritten official report. So his journal, obviously what that means is like you could tell he had erased and like rewritten some calculations and flight patterns and stuff.
Okay.
And then later he typed a report that was way different than what he had in his diary. So there's different tellings of where he actually went or if he actually made it to the North Pole.
Where did he go?
Right. So essentially, the patterns just didn't line up. Now, on the topic of this diary, this is where things get a little interesting. Byrd referred to the Antarctica as the land of everlasting mystery. Of the North Pole, he said, "I'd like to see that land past the North Pole. It's the center of the great unknown." He found Narnia.
Huh. Little Lion King or something?
Right? Some claim that in Byrd's journal, he claimed to have found an additional world in the hollow of the earth, but his journal was mysteriously removed by the government. The journal supposedly informs readers that they entered the hollow interior of the earth and traveled roughly 1,700 miles over mountains, lakes, green vegetation, and even animal life. The outside temperature was recorded at 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Sounds pretty nice in that hollow earth. So not only do people dispute the fact that he made it to the North Pole, but he's also paired with the hollow earth theory. Do you believe there's another earth inside the earth?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's like the new
Totally believe.
Godzilla versus Kong movie. They go in there.
That's
It's
where
actually pretty
Godzilla
cool.
comes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where all those beasts come from. So yeah, so that's General Byrd. So he had a couple theories with him. Number one, did he ever make it to Antarctica? And two, did he really find this hollow earth? I don't know. So then the next one that I'll end with is weather control, or HAARP.
HARP. Yeah.
HARP, or High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, was a little known but critically important U.S. military defense project that gained controversy over its alleged weather control capabilities. This project was shuttered by the military in 2013 with the constant negative publicity it was receiving. It's suggested that the research continues in other secret projects today. The theory on this project was that it wasn't just a simple research facility, but rather a warfare project designed to achieve, and I quote, full spectrum dominance by the year 2020. Did it happen? I don't know. And owning the weather in 2025. It'd be cool to own the weather.
Yeah.
Copyright the weather.
I'd make it a subscription service.
Right? You want to go outside? We'll subscribe to the Outside Happy Package.
You want rain? You gotta pay.
Yep. Theorists claim that HARP is being used for weather control and can cause earthquakes, hurricanes, tsunamis, and disrupt global communication systems and more. The secrets of this program are kept hidden by reasons of national security, which raises a few eyebrows. The $300 million price tag also suggests that there is something more going on than what's being told. According to the official HARP website, it's a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere, with particular emphasis on being able to understand and use it to enhance communications and surveillance systems for both civilian and defense purposes. So that's HARP.
Spooky.
Is it really out there to control the weather?
I just want to know how they do it.
Right? I mean, we're all sitting here bitching about how cold it is. Just contact HARP. Be like, hey, can you turn the degrees up a little bit? Because this sucks.
Next one is the Freemasons. So Masonic conspiracies are conspiracy theories involving Freemasonry. Hundreds of such conspiracy theories have been described since the late 18th century. Usually these theories fall into three distinct categories. Political, usually involving allegations of controlling the government, particularly in the United States and the United Kingdom. Religiously, usually involving allegations of anti-Christian or satanic beliefs or practices.
God.
It reminds me of Britain a little bit. And cultural, usually involving popular entertainment. You know, you got the Kanye Wests, you know, the Kim Kardashians.
Katy Perry.
The Katy Perrys.
Yeah.
The John Candys.
Yeah. You got...
John Voight.
Yeah. Ben Affleck.
The person that was like in the background of a movie.
Yeah, all those background actors.
Yeah, total Masonic jerks.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are, you bastards. Many conspiracy theories have connected the Freemasons and the Knights Templar with worship of the devil. These ideas are based on different interpretations of the doctrines and those organizations.
The way you said that was just kind of weird. The different interpretations.
Yeah. Of the claims that Freemasonry...
See, now you can't talk. I'm in your fucking head.
Of the... Damn it. Of the claims that Freemasonry exerts control over politics, perhaps the best known examples is the New World Order theory. You ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah,
we talked about it above.
Covered it last time.
But there are others. These mainly involve aspects of agencies of the United States government, but actual events outside the U.S., such as the Propaganda Due scandal in Italy, are often used to lend credence to the claims. So I looked that one up. It was like some Masonic temple that was actually like politically infiltrating the country, trying to like push it in a certain direction.
Yeah, just a little bit of influence here, nudge there. Do what I say, please.
All right, the next one is the 23 Enigma. You remember the movie 23?
That's with Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah, Jim Scary.
That was a good film, actually.
Yeah, it was all right. I watched it when I was really young at a drive-thru, so I don't remember a lot of it. The 23 obsession started with Burroughs, famous for his strange flights of disturbing, hallucinogenic fantasy in novels such as Naked Lunch. In Tangier, in 1960s, Burroughs claimed to have met a sea captain named Clark, who boasted...
Clark, the sea captain.
He was a cool guy.
I was expecting some, like, I don't know, like Reginald Seawave or something, but captain named Clark.
Yeah.
That guy got gypped.
I'm a sea captain named Clark, yar.
Clark Seaman.
So Clark boasted that he had never had an accident in 23 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Good for you.
later that day, his ship sank, killing him. So he's just like, hey, it's good to meet you. By the way, I've been sailing for 23 years. And then he died right after telling
Just
him
don't throw that to the universe.
Yeah.
It's like 23 years, you ain't doing shit to me. Done.
Nice to meet you, Burroughs. That night, Burroughs supposedly heard a radio news story about Flight 23 that had crashed in Florida, also piloted by a captain named Clark.
Oh, man.
Maybe 23 just hates Clark.
Yeah. If you're Clark and you have any run-ins with the number 23, especially on your 23rd birthday, you're dead.
Strangely, aircraft accidents records for 1960s, however, don't show any such crash, though perhaps Burroughs was thinking of Flight 23 that was destroyed by a bomb in 1933. Convenient.
Mm-hmm.
From then on, Burroughs started keeping track of events that included the number 23, and years later published a short story entitled 23 Skidoo. Other interesting things with 23.
He went down the rabbit hole. That's what happens, man. You set your mind to something, and then you just see patterns.
Yeah.
See all these crazy coincidences. It's like when you watch Back to the Future, and you're looking at the clock, and you're like, that shit predicted it.
Turn it around, and it says 9/11.
Yep.
So I dug a little bit deeper, and apparently in the Bible, in Numbers 23:23, it contains the phrase, "What hath God wrought?"
On Clark.
Yeah, essentially it's saying God's pissed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, which happens to be the first message sent in a code on the telegraph by Samuel Morse back in 1843.
No way.
What they sent.
Wow. Okay, so I'm starting to think this number 23 is bad.
Yeah. If you start to add 4 digits of 1967, the year that Nirvana co-founder Kurt Cobain was born, they come to 23, which is also the sum of the 4 digits of 1994, the year in which he died.
All right. It's very coincidental.
Also, us humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, and we're just a nightmare. We're bad things. In the medieval Catholic military order, the Knights Templar had 23 Grand Masters during its existence. What that all means? Probably nothing, but maybe the number 23 is a murderous bastard trying to get us all.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, it could be nothing, but it could be everything.
Yeah.
This number 23 is some real shit.
Yeah. All right. The next subject we're going to cover is Agartha. Sometimes referred to as Agartha or Agarthi or Agartha again. I don't know.
Okay. Just add a different letter to the end.
Yeah, just add another T in there to
Agartho.
say some Agartata, maybe. I don't know. So this is a legendary kingdom that is said to flourish under us.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the sewers.
It's not Atlantis.
It's even deeper than the sewers.
Oh. Well, you know, they say shit runs downhill.
Schitt's Creek? The kingdom is basically said to sit within the earth and be there instead of the core.
So it's the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Essentially. Hollow Earth houses Agartha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is an enormous kingdom that stretches under the entire surface of the earth.
Damn.
Through elaborate systems of tunnels that connect across the globe and under it. Some even claim that many sources of energy from the core of the earth are actually put out by the kingdom of Agartha. Like lava? Yeah, fucking Agartha.
Thanks, Agartha.
The legendary land of Shambhala, which is a Buddhist mythical city, is sometimes said to be its capital city.
Huh.
Shambhala is one of the most well-known cities of its kind and is known as a great kingdom with peace and knowledge. The word Shambhala in itself means the place of peace and of tranquility. It is also known in other cultures, such as Hinduism. It is known by the name of Aryartha. I fucked that up. Aryavartha. Yeah, don't check that.
You instantly just,
Yeah, that's totally it.
That was totally right.
Which basically means the land of the noble and worthy ones. Sounds like they're kind of, stuck up. Like,
A little facetious.
we're fucking great down here.
We don't need any of you guys. Just take our lava.
We hate Hawaii. According to the legend, Shambhala would be in the Gobi Desert within Agartha. It is abode of the king of the world along with his council of the 12 wise individuals. This group is said to be responsible for governing humanity from the secrets and protecting us from unknown evils.
Wow.
Like Cthulhu.
Like Cthulhu and
Yeah.
Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, they're good. They send a few lava spouts up every now and again, but ultimately they're keeping us safe from those.
From the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yep. Okay. All right, Agartha. All you fuckers thinking you're better than everyone else.
All you fuckers.
I couldn't think of another word.
Y'all. Bad people.
I couldn't think of a better word, okay?
Fair enough.
Okay. On to astral projection. This one fits pretty comfortably with the previously covered lucid dreaming. Essentially, astral projection is an out-of-body experience of sorts. It is suggested that it can be involuntary, as with near-death experiences, when few have reported floating above their bodies in hospital beds, that sort of thing, or voluntary via lucid dreaming, etc. It's theorized to be somewhat of a second body with several different names like dream body, astral body, Buddhist light body, Taoist diamond body, Egyptian Ka, tantric subtle body, etc. So, if you go up to someone and say, hey, how's your astral body? That's what you're talking about. It's like this astral projection body.
I always bring that up.
Right. This body is a universal human experience and apparently a part of our standard human design, such as toenails, kidneys, all that good stuff that's supposed to be there. It's this body that projects astrally and is active during unconscious and lucid dreaming. Astral projection and dreaming often go hand in hand as out-of-body experiences. Some argue that this projection is completely voluntary, where others disagree. The experience begins with leaving the body and consciously observing it with a detached perspective. With practice, you gain awareness and can direct to certain locations or activities such as flight. So you know how you mentioned in your dreams you can fly? Well, apparently in the dreams where you are flying, like not in a plane, but you're actually flying, you're experiencing this out-of-body experience. So you're just astrally projecting yourself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You have mastered astral projection.
Can you look at yourself? You're out of your body? You're like, hey.
Well, I mean, I've never had a dream where I'm flying, but I'm sure if you look down, you'd just see Cleet laying on his crusty mattress, sleeping away.
It'd slap me awake.
So, yeah, that's astral projection.
Cool.
So this one is Cleet's favorite. Talking about the succubi. A succubus, or succubi, plural, is a female demon or supernatural entity believed to have sexual intercourse with sleeping men. According to religious traditions, repeated sexual activities with succubi can cause poor physical or mental health, even death. So if you just constantly are having trouble sleeping, you start to degrade in health, you have a succubi in your house.
They're banging your life away.
Yep. More modern representations of succubi describe them as beautiful seductresses and enchantresses rather than demonic and scary, because I can't imagine this demon crawls in your room and you're like, we're going to have sex.
Let's bang.
Right? Scientific explanations had been made to rumored encounters of these succubi. Some encounters closely resemble those of alien abductions, which has been ascribed to sleep paralysis and hallucinations from contemporary culture.
The old dirty probe.
Right? In essence, the experience of nocturnal emissions, better known as wet dreams, may explain the sexual aspect of the phenomenon. What's with your smirk, dude?
The dirty probe.
You understand? I'm not skipping it. I just didn't want to dwell on a dirty probe. What do you want me to say? Yeah, Cleet, the dirty probe.
That's disgusting.
It is disgusting. I'm just not going to give you more ammunition. The male counterpart to the succubus is the incubus. You listen to Incubus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a male sex demon. That's their name.
Oh, okay.
So do you see them in a different light now?
Yeah, I didn't make that connection. I didn't know that.
Right. So this is actually one of the topics that I think it'd be cool to cover in more detail, because when you start to get into the various, origins and lore of it, it's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of different tellings of it, so we might come back to this one. But yeah, the succubi, sex demons, fun stuff.
Nice.
Okay, and I'll end this little section with Dyatlov Pass.
Ooh.
So we have actually covered this one in much more detail on our second listener submission episode. So if you really want a much more rich telling, a lot more deep dive. Highly suggest you go back and listen to it if you haven't already. But this incident, in short, involved the discovery of 9 Russian hikers dead in the northern Ural Mountains between February 1st and 2nd of 1959, involving uncertain circumstances. The group was led by Igor Dyatlov. During the night, something caused the men to cut their way out of the tent and flee the campsite, facing the harsh weather, inadequately dressed, some even just in their underwear. Investigations were performed after the finding of the bodies, and 6 of the deaths were ruled as hypothermia, while the other 3 were killed by physical trauma. Several theories to the deaths were made, involving men stumbling upon something they weren't meant to see, a potential run-in with the cryptid, and even aliens.
Or the Squatch.
Right, the Squatch Witch cryptid.
Let's talk about the Nephilim. The Nephilim conspiracy concerns the agenda to hybridize humans with extraterrestrials.
Oh.
Yeah. Or something modified. DNA administered by a higher intelligence, namely by the Anunnaki.
Via dirty probe.
As the Hebrew Genesis story goes, God flooded the earth to remove all the abominations.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's been interpreted by rabbis and some Christian circles that some of the Nephilim, probably just said that wrong, had survived and still exist today through specific bloodlines.
So it's human-alien hybrids.
Yeah.
Okay.
X-Files. Okay.
That was a terrible whistle.
Yeah, the Book of Enoch also follows the same motif. The Vatican refuses to admit any of the books of Enoch into the Bible canon, in an effort to suppress any knowledge of the existence of the Nephilim and their present-day bloodlines. Ali Sadadan from Think Again Productions links alien abduction cases to the Nephilim agenda.
It's Nephilim.
Those damn agendas. Siadatam promotes that the conspiracy that the progenitors of the Nephilim, disguised as aliens, are directly involved in abduction cases in an effort to seed hybrid humans amongst populations around the world.
Yeah.
You might be one, dude.
I've thought sometimes, I might be a Nephilim. There's just certain things that happen. I'm like, I'm probably an alien hybrid.
Dirty, dirty Nephilim.
Yeah.
Probe gotcha. All right. Hybrids are the new Nephilim. More human-like so that one cannot tell the difference.
Told you.
Siadatin suggests that the Nephilim of old were more susceptible to being killed by humans because they were visibly seen as different and outnumbered.
So over time, they've just become less and less easy to spot.
Yeah, they just become more people-ish.
They could just be sitting right next to you right now.
Yeah.
Damn Nephilims.
I hate them. All right. Next one is the missing cosmonauts.
Oh.
The basis of this theory is that Yuri Gagarin, you know who he is? Yuri?
Yeah, good old Yuri. I know him. We hung out all the time.
Well, the theory is he was not the first cosmonaut sent into space.
I knew it. I knew it.
He told me. He's like, there were like 20 people before me. That's a Russian accent. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Not a very good one.
There are many reports of lost cosmonauts that stem from crashes that occurred during the Soviet space program. There are also reports by 2 amateur Italian radio operators that they reported hearing the sounds of cosmonauts suffocating as his spacecraft faltered. Now,
Wow.
imagine turn on a little ham radio, and you're like, hey, is there anybody out there? And you just hear,
No.
and then someone dies.
It's not something I'm eager to listen to.
Yeah. So with the secrecy that surrounded the Soviet scientific achievements and failures at this time period, we may never know if cosmonauts gave their lives to push the envelope that led to the accomplishments of Yuri Gagarin and the Soviet Union.
So, let's talk about something called declassified documents.
Nice.
Declassified documents are described as genuine pieces of black and white evidence that prove governmental collusion, corruption, criminality, and conspiracy.
I will be the first one to say that the government has done nothing wrong ever in the history of government.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. They show the shocking extent to which groups of people, using and hiding behind the concept of government, have committed egregious crimes against humanity. We're not going to go into these files now, but some examples involve anything from World War II, mainstream media control, all that good stuff. So that's what a declassified document is. Documents that just prove that the government is not just always A-okay.
Oh, okay.
You know? Sometimes they're just a little shady. Okay. Next up is summoning. I summon thee. This theory was pretty vague. It had a lot of separate branches to it because obviously the word summon is just to, call something over, right?
Broad, yeah.
The idea of summoning can enclose so many different things. One of the biggest summoning theories is by use of portals. Some theorists suggest that there are experiments that exist to create portals to other dimensions, worlds, and even open up portals through time via time travel. A lot of people will dismiss this idea entirely, where others truly believe in the existence of portals. Obviously, when you open a portal to other worlds, dimensions, etc., you risk the possibility of summoning other beings, whether accidentally or intentionally.
The demons will come.
Right? Summoning has also been said to involve God or Satan via gateways such as the Ouija board, which we've talked about several times, and, our good old spirit box. Or the LHC, or Large Hadron Collider, which is the largest particle accelerator in the world. That's what they said that summoned God, was the LHC. So this theory overall encompasses the idea on whether or not summoning is actually a thing. So can you actually summon God or Satan or an extraterrestrial being through a portal?
Sure.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Let's go with that.
All right, so talking about summoning, we're going to be covering tulpas.
Yeah, I've always wanted to know what a tulpa is, especially when you said it at the beginning. And I'm like, what the fuck is a tulpa?
Yeah. A tulpa, also known as a thought form, is an independent entity brought into being by the power of belief. It starts out as an imaginary friend, and it gains sentience of its own, carries on a life independent of its creator, and according to some, can be seen and heard by others and can affect the world around them.
Wow.
It may come about accidentally by someone who doesn't realize their reality warping powers, or may be created intentionally by one or more people with the hope of it becoming real in order to do things the creator couldn't.
So there's like this little girl who imagines like this crazy creature as this imaginary friend, and it just takes on a form of its own, and she unleashes this beast upon the world.
Yeah, like a giant spaghetti monster.
Yes.
Ramen.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
The word comes from certain branches of Buddhism, in which the tulpa is an object, usually a living creature, which is brought into existence by sheer will and concentration. Another thing with tulpas is it's like folklore, or if like enough people believe something's real, it can manifest. Like
So,
Slender
Santa
Man.
Claus. Oh, you said Slender Man. I said Santa Claus.
Where are you?
I have no idea.
This is a scary podcast.
Santa Claus breaks into your home via chimney.
It's
That's
true.
scary.
He'd be the Santa Claus from Futurama.
Takes all your fucking cookies and milk, leaves presents behind.
Yeah. All right. Next one is called Operation Bluebeam. And I love this one.
I think the name is pretty cool.
We're going to have to cover this in the actual episode. There's so much here. But anyways, I'll be quick on it. Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that claims that NASA is in cooperation with other powerful forces and is attempting to implement a new age religion with the Antichrist as its head and start a new world order via technologically simulated second coming.
That sounds amazing.
It's so cool.
That's like an amazing plot to a movie.
Yeah. The new age religion would be the very foundation of the new world government, without which religion, the fierce dictatorship of the new world order would be completely impossible. So they're going to try to get rid of religion, have people believe in this new religion that combines them all. And I was reading some of it, and it's like you look into the sky and you like literally see whatever you believe. So if it's like Jesus,
You just see Jesus hanging out in a cloud.
or the other ones, Buddha, and they're like, hey, we're here. Worship the government or something. I don't know.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
But
I'm all
Interesting.
for that one. That's pretty cool. We'll have to cover that one for sure.
yeah. And the last thing I'll cover is occult knowledge. So I couldn't find a lot on this, so I just found a fun opinion piece online. Someone asked, what is the occult? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have the answer.
Yeah.
The occult means hidden, secret, mysterious, particularly pertaining to the supernatural. Examples of occult practices are astrology, witchcraft, Wicca, the black arts, fortune-telling, magic, both black and white, Ouija boards, tarot cards, spiritism, parapsychology, and your favorite, Britain, Satanism.
Dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Don't let the cat out of the bag on this one.
Human beings have always been interested in the occult, from ancient times until today. Occult practices and psychic phenomena have captivated millions of people worldwide, and this is not limited to the ignorant or uneducated. There are several factors that make the occult fascinating to everyone, even in our age of technological and scientific advances. For one thing, occult practices appeal to our natural curiosity. Many people who get involved in the occult begin with harmless practices such as playing with the Ouija board out of simple curiosity. Many who have experimented this way have found themselves going deeper and deeper into the occult. Unfortunately, this type of involvement is akin to quicksand, easy to get into and difficult to get out of.
So you're saying the Ouija board's a gateway toy?
Yeah, it just gives you it's like Hellraiser. Hooks come out of it, wrap around your face and just pulls you towards the board.
So 1 minute you're asking a question on the Ouija board, the next you're proclaiming your love to Satan?
No, your face becomes a planchette.
Ow.
Yeah.
Wow, that took a weird turn.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that.
I am now a planchette.
Ah! The astrologer gladly charts your future. The Ouija board and tarot cards give you direction, and the psychic gets you in touch with your Aunt Esther, who tells you all is fine in the afterlife. Occult practices are controlled by demons who offer just enough breadcrumbs information to keep their victims intrigued while exerting more and more control over the gullible hearts and minds of those people until they reel them into hell.
I love the passion.
Anyways, yeah, that's what they're at.
Like the temperature raised 10 degrees in this room when you were screaming that.
Yeah, totally true.
Okay. Well, later we'll turn on the spirit box and dive right into hell.
Yep.
Sorry, Chris. Hope you're doing okay, pal.
Shit was ridiculous.
All right. So next up is Magica. Now, this one was a bitch and a half to research. I got to be honest. Because there's a video game called Magica, and you type it into Google and you get, video game. And I'm like, that's not what I want to know. What I was able to find out just through kind of piecing and scrapping things together, essentially this is the idea that magic is broken up into 5 categories, being the arcane, the illusionary, the aura, the manipulation, and the elemental. So, I mean, the overall concept of magic is debatable and a theory in of itself. So, do you believe in magic? Do you believe
Any
in
young girl's
magic?
heart? Isn't that how it goes?
I don't know. But do you believe magic?
Oh, yeah. I play Final Fantasy all the time.
Oh,
It's a sweet spell casting thing.
You're right into it.
Yeah.
So literally, that's all I could find. I mean, you type in magic, you're going nowhere fast. You're just going to a realm you don't want to be into, right? It's like summoning.
You're going to heck.
All right. So this next one's pretty cool. It's the shelled or firmament earth theory. So it's interesting and is also known as the canopy theory. It originally comes from Genesis 1:6 in the Bible and states that before the Great Flood, there was a form of canopy of water or ice layer above the earth, like bubbling the earth, right? Sounds legit, right? Theorists state that the canopy was a sort of shield protecting life and allowing the longevity of life overall. Eventually, the firmament was destroyed, causing this great flood. Some theorists believe that there is a firmament of some kind still there, still present in our skies, but scientists have gone on to say that it may not have ever existed at all.
It's that damn space trying to get through our atmosphere.
Right? This also ties into the hollow earth theory a bit and have been said to be connected in some way or another. So you got hollow earth, and then you've got this big canopy of water that just enveloped us at one point. So
Cool.
I'm going to end with clown sightings. Another one that we covered in more detail in our clown episode. Highly suggest you listen to it. But this theory mainly talks about the year 2016 when thousands of people dressed as clowns wielding weapons such as knives, threatening people in public areas. The weird part about this theory in general is just the sheer number of people dressing up at the same time without any kind of public announcement that we know of, just to terrorize the population. Like, where the fuck did these clowns come from, right? And one of the videos I was watching on this, the guy was like, do you know of anyone who dressed up as a clown? Or did you ever hear about this clown thing? And like a lot of people are like, no. But like thousands of clowns.
You know what happened, though, right? I know what happened. Stephen King summoned them. He's a demon.
He took his trip to his vacation home in the Hollow Earth and just unleashed the clowns on us in 2016.
Yeah, because, I mean, it was coming a year later, so he's like, summon the clowns. Okay, let's talk about Men in Black.
Oh, with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're going to forget. So the Men in Black are supposed to be men dressed in black suits.
The end. That's the theory.
They claim they to be quasi-government agents who harass, threaten, sometimes even assassinate unidentified flying object witnesses to keep them quiet about what they have seen.
I saw a flying saucer. Look at that flower over there.
No, you didn't. The term is also frequently used to describe mysterious men working for unknown organizations, as well as various branches of government allegedly tasked with protecting secrets or performing other strange activities. The term is generic, used for any unusual, threatening, or strangely behaved individuals whose appearance on the scene can be linked to some fashion with UFO sightings.
So, if you see a UFO, just don't call the Men in Black.
Yeah, there's a lot on this.
Keep it to yourself.
There's a lot of interesting stories. We might cover it, but yeah.
I feel like a lot of these, it's like, they're okay, not a lot of them. Some of them you're like, oh, there's really not much. I can't find anything. Then there's some, it's like, God, there's so much to this.
Yeah, and so the next one I'm going to cover is like that, but I just couldn't do it. I'm not going to bring this up. It's called The Boy in the Box.
Oh.
And if you ever look this up, my God, like it is not good. It's so bad.
Okay.
Like I think that I have a pretty strong tolerance to violence and gore and messed up stories, but this one really made me sad, and so I only made it a small paragraph. And if you want to look into it, go ahead and look into it.
At
Google
your own discretion.
The Boy in the Box.
Okay.
So, in 1957, on a chilly February day in Philadelphia, the body of a naked and beaten male child was found in a box. As of July 2021, the child has never been identified and often referred to as the Boy in the Box or America's Unknown Child. The case is still being investigated to this day. Like, I could have made that so much longer. I don't know if it was just today. I just was not in the mood to do it. I couldn't do it.
Well, I mean, look, first of all, anything involving children is not okay. And it's just like, there's some of those things, like, I felt the same when we did H.H. Holmes. Like, there was some shit that was really hard to get into with that one. So, that's one of those ones, if you want more information, go to Google and do your research.
Yeah, let's just say there are some monsters in this world. Okay, the next one is the simulation argument.
Oh,
I think we've all
it's
heard
all
this.
a simulation. The Matrix.
In 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed a trilemma that he called the simulation argument. Despite the name, Bostrom's simulation argument does not directly argue that humans live in a simulation. Instead, Bostrom's trilemma argues that one of three unlikely seemingly propositions is almost certainly true. The fraction of human-level civilizations that reach the post-human stage, that is, one capable of running high-fidelity ancestor simulations, is very close to zero, or the fraction of post-human civilizations that are interested in running simulations of their evolutionary history or variations thereof is close to zero, or the fraction of all people with our kind of experiences that are living in the simulation is very close to 1.
And we're just supposed to know what that means.
Yeah, I'll explain. The trilemma points out that a technologically mature post-human civilization would have enormous computing power. Even if a tiny percentage of them were to run this simulation, because some might deem it as like not okay to run, like it might be ethically wrong to them, that is, high-fidelity simulations of ancestral life that would be indistinguishable from reality to the simulated ancestor, the total number of the simulated ancestors or sims in the universe or multiverse, if it exists, would be greatly exceed the total number of actual ancestors. So essentially what that's saying is most civilizations don't go post-human where they could run the simulation.
Right.
Of the civilizations that can, most of them will choose not to do so because it'll be unethical. So a small percentage of a small percentage will do it. but because it's like a simulation that's run over and over and over again, the odds of you being in the actual reality is less than the one being in the simulation.
Okay. Wow. I feel like you could just spend hours on that.
Yeah. Elon Musk once said, the odds of us not living in a simulation is about 1 in a billion. But what does he know? He just makes electric cars and tunnels and a bunch of other stuff that I don't
robots. He's doing SpaceX.
Did you say sumo robots?
Yeah. I said soon.
Oh, damn. I wanted
Maybe he'll do sumo robots.
All right.
Okay. So I'll wrap it up with the last two, and then we're going to flick this damn spirit box on. So the first one, divination. Divination is the practice of being able to see or predict the future or the unknown by supernatural means. This is tied in mostly with summoning and meditation, as theorists have claimed to have been able to see the future by those means. So I decided to meditate, and I saw that next year I'm going to do something cool. This is another one where the scientific community has dismissed the idea entirely and is being labeled as superstition by skeptics. So, again, just divination, being able to see the futures. I mean, some people will use tea leaves and all sorts of stuff, patterns, all that. So just the idea of being able to see into the future.
All right.
And then we're going to end with probably the most real out of all of this.
Most controversial.
Most controversial. Space is fake. It's just not real. Doesn't exist.
Makes sense.
Right? I mean, we really don't need much of an explanation, as the theory suggests exactly what the name states. Space is fake. Theorists have made several claims, such as space being a giant curtain left by extraterrestrials to simulate a night sky, or that it's a simulation. Makes us all think that there's a space out there. It's actually funny because when I was little, I used to think about this idea that space was we were just living this giant dome, like an ant farm type thing. We were being watched by another civilization. And at night, the stars were like the little holes they poked in so that they could still view us at night with all the lights. And it's just like the light coming through of their big lamp.
Those are creepy bastards.
Yeah. So anyway, space is fake. I think this one has a lot of credence, man. I think space is absolutely bullshit.
You've heard it here first, people. The space is fake.
That's right. So that wraps up part 1 of Tier 2. But I think it's time that we ask some questions to dear old Ghost Chris.
Yep, let's talk to Chris.
All right, so Chris, we have a question for you because one of our viewers pointed out that you said, "Help me." Do you have anything that you need help with?
Chris, do you need any help, or does someone know what Chris needs help with?
I think I heard hello.
I think I said with his extended car warranty. What does Chris need help with?
Do you believe in any of the conspiracy theories we just talked about?
Is there anything you want to say before we shut this down?
All right, Chris. Well, hopefully you have a wonderful evening.
And thank you for entering the abyss.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps up the episode. And like we were talking about, we'll end most of our, if not all of our episodes with the Spirit Box, and we'll ask some other questions. And of course, if you have questions you're dying to have us ask, please send them to entertheabysspod@gmail.com.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.